everybody, and welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your humble host, the Indian Cinemaniac, back with another 10ish minute review, and this one will be a 10ish minute review. Okay, so let me just explain something. This showed up in my queue, and I enjoy this actor. And I watched the trailer for it, and it looked kind of interesting to me. And it was only 150 minutes. So I said, you know what? I'm going to watch it while I work out on my treadmill. So that's what I did. So the film that I am going to review, which was my recommendation, not any of you, so none of you will have to take blame, is Detective Sherdil, which is on Netflix, and it recently came out. It's directed by Ravi Chhabriya, who directed Sultan, Bharat, and Tiger Zinda Hai. Actually, was second unit director on those three. Now, the actor that I like, and the reason why I want to watch this, is Diljit Dosanjh, who plays Detective Sherdil. He was in Dunki, Good News, and Amar Singh Chamkila. I really like this guy. And I've only seen him in serious stuff, but he did Good News, and he played such a funny character. I really liked him in that because it was so different from the other stuff I've seen him in. It also stars Diana Penty, Boman Irani, who I've seen. He's in everything. Three Idiots, Happy New Year, Munna Bai MBBS, amongst others. Chunky Panday, who was in Dawn, and Arjun Tanwar, who was in the film 83. So let me say this first of all. The story is about a detective Sherdil, who is a cross between Sherlock Holmes and a little bit of Detective Columbo, Peter Falk. Visually, it takes a lot from the BBC Sherlock show with Benedict Cumberbatch. Visually, like they do this one thing, and they do this throughout the film where the camera's on somebody, the background fades, a new background fades in. They do that a lot, and they do a lot of interesting camera angles. It's very Sherlock, BBC Sherlock. Okay, so the story is a very rich industrialist gets murdered, and they're trying to solve who did the murder. And there's a lot of suspects. And it reminded me also of the film Knives Out, if you've seen that with Daniel Craig, with the family dynamic. Now, I can't spoil it. I will not spoil the mystery. But I will tell you that I knew who did it pretty quickly. And there were a couple things that came up that I knew. In fact, I wrote them down. And then they were revealed later on, and I was right. But the story, the story was okay. The murder and the solving of the murder, it wasn't really. Here's what I think happened. Because I read the reviews on this after I watched it, and the reviews were brutal. Ones. But they also brought up stuff that in the reviews that I did not see. So I have to think that the runtime of this was actually a lot longer when it first came out. And there were scenes that got reviewed that I did not see because it was very short, and it also seemed a little hacked editing. Because the way the case unfolds and he solves it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So the story, I give a two because not only has this been done a million times, but the story here really didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, uh, there was like the opening line of the film, and this is where you knew where this was going. There's a voiceover, and there's a rap song that introduces Sherdil, and the line is, "I have a problem for every solution." So that kind of tells you the kind of detective he is, right? But there's a lot of quick cuts, a lot of split screen, scene titles with locations, all those kind of graphics. I have to do this without giving away the plot, but I would say this to you. This is probably not a movie you want to see. Now, having said that, I actually liked his performance in it. He was actually, and I'll also say this, there was a lot of English in this. They were speaking a lot of English. Like I would say half of it was in English, which is kind of nice because you don't have to focus on the subtitles. You can just focus on them. So that was kind of a welcome. But he was quirky. Um, he had like like Sherlock has Watson. He had a Watson, a young lady, a cop, and not a I think she was a cop, and there was also another guy that was a cop. So there was three of them. So they had that team, which is the same dynamic with Sherlock. But he's got a funny take because the way they do it, and I won't give it away, but um, when he starts, it's like a typical a movie where you get all the suspects in a room, and he starts going over details. Right now, they flash back and they start showing you how he figured things out. Right, which is convenient. That's a plot device. But I actually thought he was pretty good in it. He was funny. He was kind of he wasn't goofy. Goofy's not the right word, but he had a really good demeanor to him. He's always smiling and nodding. Really, really, and the rest of the cast was pretty good. I'll tell you who I really liked in this. Boman Irani was really good in this as the millionaire who gets murdered. Because they flash back, they show some other things with him, but it was one of the one of the straightest performances. Like no cartoonish stuff, no broad humor. He was actually pretty good. Now I'm going to give the performances a three, mostly because of Irani and Diljit. I really liked them in it. The music there wasn't a ton of music. In fact, there was only incidental music. There were no musical numbers. Now this guy Diljit is a singer, so I expected a lot of music. No, pretty much just incidental music. They even set up a sequel because in the end credit they don't say the end. They say goodbye, and then it's he's setting up in Kenya, and it's a voiceover, and he says you can call 9299. Never mind. See you later, alligator. That's how it ended with a song going. So, the music was fine. It was a three. I don't care one way or the other. I overall though, my verdict on this, I have to tell you, it was a two. It wasn't very good, and like I said, I think I saw a shortened version of this because it was again they brought up stuff in the reviews that I just did not see. So it was kind of goofy. So I don't think I'd waste my time on it. But if you're a fan of his, I think you'd like it because he was good in it. I did like him. Okay. Okay. Now, having ripped that movie apart, let me give you my recommendation. Okay. So listen, I want to keep with the detective theme, and I'm going to give you a classic. And this is the film that kind of marked the hard boiled film noir detective and probably the most iconic of the film noir detectives. And it's 1941's The Maltese Falcon, which at the time this movie came out, it had already been made twice. This is the iconic version of this film. It was directed by John Huston. It stars Humphrey Bogart as Sam Spade. Wait, I think I got one of those hats. Hold on. This is a Humphrey Bogart fedora. Sam Spade. Also stars Mary Astor, Peter Lorre, and Sidney Greenstreet. Um, the thing about this film is the grizzled detective, the femme fatale that hires him. All the Peter Lorre and Sidney Greenstreet, the side characters, are great characters. Um, a covertly homosexual character, which at that time, 1941, you did not see that. But John Huston was very sly about that relationship, the way he did it. Um, but it's just the dialogue. It's based on Dashiell Hammett. I know I'm saying that wrong, and I take a lot of heat for it. I think it's Dashiell Hammett. Let me see if he did the screenplay. Da, 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 da. Dashiell Hammett. I think that's his name. I'm gonna hate myself if I get that wrong. But they got the famous line at the end. Now, the Maltese Falcon is called the MacGuffin. That's what Alfred Hitchcock called the MacGuffin. It's the thing that keeps the plot going along, but really doesn't mean anything. And in this, that is absolutely true. In fact, where's my I had a Maltese Falcon. Oh, it's downstairs. I don't have it up here. I do actually have a copy of the Maltese Falcon. Yeah, I thought I had it up here. I guess I don't. But the line at the end, it's a famous line. And someone asks, "What is that?"
What is it?
Sam Spade says, "It's the stuff that dreams are made of."
The stuff that dreams are made of. Huh?
Here's looking at you, kid. Yeah. Anyway, a great classic Hollywood film noir. Dialogue, overlapping dialogue, kind of like Howard Hawks, but just a great film. Great film, worth all the praise that it gets. If you want a great detective movie, check out Maltese Falcon 1941. Okay, that's it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and please hit the like button. I know I keep saying that, but guys, please. 500 views, 7 likes. Okay? Come on, like it. Just like it. Was it going to kill you? Just hit the like. It's not like, it's going to affect your taxes or anything, all right? Anyway, that's it. We're done. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with a 10ish to 25ish minute review or a trailer reaction. Thank you for watching, everyone. Here's looking at you, kid.
Harry, what is it? The stuff that dreams are made of. Huh?